All right, we're back. Circling Back podcast coming to you live from Austin, Texas. My name's Will DeFries. To my left, David Ruff.
Hey, man.
Big left and right guy.
You really are. I think this is going to be a fun episode.
That's
fun
good to hear.
and easy. We've got a little twist on it. It's going to be good.
We have a special guest in the studio today. He's getting introduced faster than Dylan ever does. You might know him as the Magic Bullet. Some know him as the worst to ever do it. I know him as my good friend, Brett Merriman. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Merriman.
Happy birthday to Get Rich or Die Trying. It is 20 today, just to make everybody feel a little bit older out there.
How many skips?
According to Dave, 0 skips except for one.
One of the best moments of my high school career, just life in general, was when I was on spring break, and my buddy and I, we were grinding for the first time in a very long time with 2 girls.
Nice. Grind train? Sin wagon?
Not a grind train. He and I were really kind of facing each other while other people, while the girls were facing away. And at one point,
Clothed Eiffel Tower?
I mean, we weren't grinding them together. These were 2 separate islands of grinding.
Okay.
They were just facing you while you were
We were just
grinding
in
on
the
them?
general vicinity of each other. You guys are getting caught up on some semantics here that don't need to be worried about. And Into Club was playing, and in the middle of grinding with these young ladies, my buddy and I high-fived, and it was one of the cooler feeling things I've ever done at Club Tequila in Cabo in Playa del Carmen.
That's a great high five.
That's well done.
We should rank high five.
If you can high-five to Into Club, no, we only do fist bumps now in this economy.
That's true.
Yeah.
As I was saying before the podcast, many men into club, as good of a back-to-back as I've seen in modern music.
You could skip 21 questions. That's fine. But everywhere else on there, it's just good song after good song.
PIMP.
That's not one of my faves, but I'll let you not skip it.
Okay.
I won't get mad.
There's some beats on that, and when I hear them, my face looks like I'm eating an Altoid mango sour.
Well, that's a very specific reference.
What? Everyone's not doing mango sours? Look at these things, David.
I wish this was an ad read, because this would be the best sponsor we've ever had.
If Altoids wants to get back into the sour candy game, they have a free sponsorship right here.
Do you ever do the thing on the back of the bus where you would have to stick your tongue out and put one on, and whoever lasted the longest wins? And they would burn holes in your tongue, basically. You would go home for dinner and not be able to taste.
I feel like we did that with Warheads.
Yeah, we were more of we were Warheads kids.
Did that too.
You used to do it with Wet Biscuits, Brett, right?
Yeah, weren't you a biscuit guy?
Wet biscuits.
I
don't understand that reference.
We had a general store at the ski area, and they sold Warheads
At the knob?
Yeah, they just had massive bags of Warheads, and so it would be one of those things where it's like, all right, let's get on the chairlift. If you can hold it on your tongue for the entirety, you win. Nothing.
Badass. Did you guys have Bosco sticks?
No. Hold on.
This is a very Midwest thing, I feel like.
Someone brought these up recently. No, we did not have Bosco sticks.
That's
I'm not
sad.
familiar.
That is an all-time ski resort food. Bosco sticks. They were the original stuffed breadsticks, Dave.
I would eat those.
Yeah,
I would eat these. Yeah, for sure. For sure would.
Man, there's nothing better than just absolutely ruining your mouth for the next 4 days by just mainlining Warheads. Just the sours.
Or
Just give yourself ulcers.
Love them.
your stomach lining, perhaps from chugging a a certain salsa from a certain restaurant in the Austin area.
The only time I've actually felt like my stomach might be rotting through was after I drank 3 Lemonade 4 Loko original recipes. I think I was like 23 at that point. I was out of the 4 Loko game, and I took 3 down during the Michigan Penn State tailgate, and I was never the same after that.
You didn't know it at the time, but that was as good as it was going to get.
Yeah.
That was like the highlight of life for you.
For sure. I was wearing the Nick Saban preseason camp straw hat.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had a nice branded Michigan polo. We were just out there just living life, having a good time.
Very
Nothing
cool.
like a 52-degree tailgate, late September, Big Ten weather. Michigan's up against some sorry-ass school that's going to get beat by 30.
I have bad luck at I have
Purdue.
very bad luck at Michigan Penn State games. That's famously where I got swine flu as well.
The little brother game? Who's the little brother, though?
Brett, come on, everyone knows who the king of the Big Ten is.
Not talked about enough that you had swine flu.
You were one of the few, weren't you?
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful. To anyone out there who also had swine flu,
Yes, have a
I'm
Facebook
thinking
group?
about you. Yeah. I'm only in one
I am
Facebook
too.
group. It's
There's
just-
a new bird flu. Did you guys know that? It's actually taking out only birds, though. That's why the chicken prices have gone up.
Yeah, but are birds real? More of
No.
that on Touching Based on Patreon.
There you go.
Touching Based on Patreon.
It's a good one.
Are we doing Touching Based tomorrow? I think we should do Touching Based tomorrow. Tomorrow's Touching Based Day on Patreon. I'm formally announcing that.
Is it?
Yeah.
But okay. Is Dylan gonna have time to? Because Dylan gets back tonight, right?
Dylan, he's going to have time.
Okay.
He'll have a whole flight to plan out his Touching Based.
Would you? Is that gonna give him scaries if like tonight at like 5, like, hey, by the way, we're doing touching base tomorrow?
No, if you miss a Monday of work, you don't deserve to have anxiety going back into the office on Tuesday. You got to just roll in like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, just in like
No.
I got my head held high, took Monday off, I got a short week. It's a good thing to do.
Short week.
Like we said, patreon.com/circling back podcast. We got the Love Island boys debuted on Friday. Dave and I broke down the first 4 episodes of Love Island. I think we're going to start watching the Thursday night episode before we record on Friday. So we will be catching up everybody on the entire week of episodes for Fridays.
Yeah. I had too much fun with that Friday episode.
The Friday episodes historically are awesome.
I was looking for somebody to talk about it with.
Yeah. We got to start watching them before, Dave.
I'm in.
We do. And if you're also interested in the Patreon on Tuesdays, we got exactly 5 minutes. Listeners can send in their prompts, and we talk about those randomly selected prompts for exactly 5 minutes. Or you can do a little bit of Touching Based, a conspiracy podcast where we just mash that conspiracy button.
Excited.
It's very
Good,
exciting
it's
stuff.
a really good Patreon.
I would also very much implore people, if you're an Apple Podcast listener, thank you. If you're a Spotify person, also thank you. But if you're on Apple Podcast, go leave us a review. You guys mind if I read a couple reviews?
Please.
One says a double-edged sword. It says this podcast gets 5 out of 5 stars,
Okay.
but the 3 hours I spent trying to explain to my wife how Maddie B caused 9/11 gets 1 star.
You know, it's tough.
3 hours is a long time. I can't imagine what kind of tangents or wormholes you went down there, but
There's just not a lot linking him to it. But like, I mean, if you look hard enough, there's stuff out there.
Noted user Dylan has been into the Masters, commented, the sizzling fajitas of podcasts. Right, you might have to update the ad deck with this.
we are the sizzling fajitas. So no happy hours out. Sizzling fajitas is in.
Correct. It says the moment, the moment at a Mexican restaurant where everyone's minding their own business and then all of a sudden a waiter kicks down the kitchen door and brings out a hot screaming dish that's just sizzling with flavor. Everyone in that room, even for a second, is looking at that dish. That's what it's like when you tap play on your first episode of a Wash Media podcast. I've listened to these 3 amigos since their first episode of the previous podcast, Pre-Sizzle Squad, for all the real ones.
Wow.
A lot of ups and downs have happened in my life since then, but these 3 kings have been a mainstay in the week. Give them a chance to earn your business. You'll like the way they sound. I guarantee it.
That's just a good review.
That's a well done review from start to
Can,
finish.
can we give that a page in the pitch deck? Like just that?
Why'd you call it the bitch deck?
Did I?
That's what it sounded.
Well, it's your deck. I'm
I
sorry.
don't want to talk about it. That's cool.
I just like the
Can you
review.
do another one?
I thought it was very heartwarming.
Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more review, and I'm gonna do this one because it's about me. I usually don't do the negative one, but it's about me, so I'm allowed to do this.
Like your
It says,
MySpace profile.
It says Will's takes overall. This is from Darby Lunchbox.
Kind of
It
a
says,
dope
is
name.
Will Beta Colin Coward? Example 1. Disney adults get too much flack.
Wait.
I said maybe we should just be a little nicer to Disney
Oh
adults
no,
overall.
that's okay. Terrible take.
Okay.
I agree
Yeah,
with this.
that's what this guy said.
Yeah.
Did you leave this review, Brad? The other one was
I
Game
am
of
Darby
Thrones. Never
Lunchbox.
watched past 1 episode. That's not a take. It's just kind of I don't really watch it.
Okay.
Number 3 says Yellowstone is the worst, and then takes his family to a rodeo in Western hats. Yet he grew up in Michigan. You decide.
That's not fair. The last
What's
one,
wrong with that?
I hard disagree.
I would say that the reason I don't like Yellowstone is because it is a little too far of a departure from a classic Western. A little too far.
Yeah, you can not like Yellowstone and still enjoy the attending a rodeo.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like there's plenty of people at the Fort Worth Rodeo who weren't big into Yellowstone.
Do you have cowboy boots yet, though?
Nah, no. I'm not trying to totally,
Stolen valor type of stuff.
yeah, just.
I did. I bought a Stetson.
I'll
the
be
weekend.
honest.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to getting boots, but every time I go try them on and like I'm like forcing them onto my foot, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really sound that exciting. To
Yeah, the
like,
4
do this
times a
every
year you
time.
wear them, you're not like, oh, okay, I'm doing it.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm just happy you got some.
I did. I have a pair of boots and a hat now.
I don't wear mine that much anymore.
No. Old square toe, Davey.
What your boots?
Yeah, my steel toes, my dudas.
That's stolen valor.
That is definitely stolen valor. I break them out every now and then. They're good for like a good restaurant.
You're from Texas, though. You busting them out's different than if I was just busting them out to
Right.
go to a nice restaurant.
That's fair.
I just feel like I'm stealing valor. I feel like that when I wear my Western hat.
I do too. I'll be honest. I don't feel comfortable wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat because I know I'm not that.
The cowboy hat's a little different.
Although I would wipe the floor with you guys in a competition of shooting.
Oh,
I'm the best bull rider at Wash Media.
Best bull rider?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not. My shoulder would pop out immediately.
Yeah,
so
see, you got the shoulder issue.
Yeah,
and the
I'm out.
ribs.
Dave
The
can't
ribs
stay
hurt.
on long enough because he's got to get a tanky off. Randy's fat ass is gonna fall off that thing every time.
Yeah, like 2 pumps and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Really, yeah.
That thing's gonna
Randy, I
throw
think
me
would
off.
struggle with it, but I would put my money on him, but I think he wouldn't win.
They call me Mr. 8 Seconds for a reason.
Because you can, yeah. Hey, what's a spaghetti western?
It's a Western where instead of shooting each other, they throw spaghetti and meatballs at each other.
It's really messy.
That's amore.
Isn't it a genre of film where in Italy they decided to make Western films
correct?
and they became very entertaining, right?
They did.
I was confused by that concept for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was like a type of American western, but yeah, no.
I think noted maybe problematic person Quentin Tarantino he was always a big fan of spaghetti westerns, which I think that shows through in a lot of his work.
Yeah.
Micah probably has the take that he only does spaghetti westerns. How was Micah yesterday? Actually, can we just get to this weekend, recapping this weekend in fun presented by our friends over at Rocket Money?
Rocket.
I've been using Rocket Money more now than I have really ever. And I have to admit, I've been enjoying it. I've enjoyed it so much that I've forced my wife to get on it so that we can just up our budgeting and our transparency within our relationship. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Rocket Money. You guys are both on it. You know what I'm talking about. You know how much those subscriptions always cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month in subscriptions. But guess what the actual total is? It's actually closer to $200 a month. If you don't know exactly how much you're spending every single month, you need to try Rocket Money. Rocket Money, you just sign into all your stuff. It goes through, it finds all your recurring payments, and it says, hey, do you want this still? Or hey, maybe we can try to negotiate this down for you, David.
Yeah, I got the email this morning. It was saying you spent this much less last week than the prior. you
Right.
know?
That's
And
that's
it's
what
good to see.
it's my favorite app for that reason. Although I don't like what it says.
But that's your personal responsibility.
tough truths.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're just delivering the tough news that you're irresponsible.
It's like CoStar for my bank account.
Wow. Okay. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, like a streaming service you bought just to watch one show on, or that free trial that you never even used. And Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify those subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones that you don't want. And like I said, they can even try to renegotiate something for you if you think you're paying too much for something. They have a process. They update you throughout the process. It's very transparent. You know, we love that. You can even go in and you can look at years prior. If you just download Rocket Money today, you can go back and see your historical information about your spending habits and stuff like that. And you can just learn a lot about yourself. So join over the 3 million people that have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. Just go make it happen. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/circling. That's rocketmoney.com/circling. Again, rocketmoney.com/circling. Brett, what'd you get into this weekend?
Well, it started off Friday, a little happy hour at you might have heard of this, Carve American Grill.
I've heard of that. Yeah, high end, or not high end. I would
wouldn't
say
call it, like high end. There's no linen tablecloths here. Like it's just
It's a step above your Texas land and cattle's.
I've never been to that, so I couldn't tell you.
if it was a
Randy
bottle
has.
of wine, if that restaurant transformed into a bottle of wine,
It'd be like a
it would be a
second shelf.
It would be a $2 bill sign to a $3 bill sign
Yeah.
bottle.
More importantly, though, bread is just an absolute regular there.
Well, I live basically driver 5 iron away,
Okay.
so I to be honest with you, it's very convenient for me.
Like my 5 iron or like your 5 iron?
Like 600, 500 yards, what are we talking here?
I'd say it's probably 500 yards.
That's more than the 5
So
iron.
it's a 300-yard drive and a
Yeah.
200-yard 5 iron.
Like a Dylan Vortex throw.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, did the lobster corn dogs? which are fantastic. Must have.
Corn dogs.
Must have. Absolutely must have.
Fritz choked on a corn nut this past weekend.
That's
Oh
not.
no.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it kind of brought the bit down a little bit for me.
Bring the
Sally
bit
didn't
in.
like after he got done choking on it. She didn't like my throwaway corn nuts.
You had to do it though.
I had to. I
You
had to
no
do it. I had to
choice.
do it to him.
I mean, if she thinks she had a choice, she's wrong. You know.
So anyway, did a little carve, some fillets at the table. I myself did the. Oh, I can't even remember. That's sad.
Oh, you're bricking this.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I
Don't
don't
brick.
even remember
Don't
what we
brick
got
your
for
weekend in
dinner.
fun,
Oh, no.
dude. You're bricking it.
I think I did a burger or something like that. Really good burger.
Sounds like a panic
Wow,
order.
dude.
It was. I go there enough. I'm just like, I don't know what I want anyway.
Brett-
So,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was going to move off of carve, but if you were,
No. Go ahead.
so there's 2 new restaurants opening.
Okay.
In the carve complex that I'm very excited about. One, Lingwu Asian. It's dim sum. It's soup
Oh.
dumplings. I cannot wait.
I can't wait for that.
2, La Popular, which is a mezcal. Mezcaleria?
Sounds great.
Tequilaria? I'm just saying, look out for Lantana.
Wait,
in the
is
next
it?
couple of years. My neighborhood's it's blown up.
What does the ladder?
Sure.
Which is it? A mezcal tasting bar?
No,
Or-
it is.
I'm confused.
Brett describing it this way is doing it a disservice.
Is it a taqueria?
Let me. Before I.
I think it's like a fusion interior Mexican restaurant.
You're correct.
I don't
yes.
want to call it interior Mexican one because I think it's going to be a modern take on traditional
Ooh.
interior Mexican food, but that's what it appears to be.
Ooh,
I'm
a
just
new
saying-
twist on an old.
Have you
fave.
seen, you've heard about a noted famous Austin bar, Abel's on the Lake?
Mm-hmm.
They've closed.
Mm.
They'll be reopening as a high-end Mexican sushi restaurant. That will fail. It will fail.
Can Austin just chill?
This
They
is
got to relax,
a
dude.
taqueria, by the way, is what La Popular is.
So not a mezcaleria?
They're specializing in an extensive mezcal menu. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Their happy
Okay.
hour, by the way, going to be phenomenal. $5 draft beer, $7 glasses of wine, $8 margaritas.
They'll get you addicted to the happy hour, and then they'll end it 2 months later, and you'll be
You
like,
think-
"Man,
you
they,
think?
they used to have the best happy hour."
That's sad. I don't want to.
It's a good model.
Anyway,
There is a mezcaleria and agave bar on Manor Road.
thank you, Randy.
That didn't exonerate you at all, by the way.
I'm just saying they're a thing.
I said
They're a
that, not
thing.
Randy.
They're a thing.
Exoneration,
No jail
no
time.
breaking.
I was on Brick Watch for a minute there.
So did that. Had a great time. Shouts to Nick. Shouts to James.
I thought we were getting off carve.
Now we're just
what it
name
was.
dropping.
That's where we were at car. Anyway, Saturday did a little aspirational house driving out in Lakeway. Fun stuff. I love doing that. Loved looking at houses, looking at neighborhoods, and Zillow baiting. You know what they call that?
It sounds like you do.
Zillow baiting.
Right.
Yeah. So did some
Okay.
of that. Went to an Italian place that was closed because they don't have any water.
Oh.
And so we pivoted.
Oh, did they not get it shipped in from New York?
No, I don't think they're doing stuff like that. Pivoted because it was late, and we went to Maggiano's.
Little Italy.
Wow, Maggiano's Little Italy.
Hey, no shame in that.
There is no
I've never
shame
been
in
to
that, but
Maggiano's.
I
It's
feel
good.
I feel shame in that.
What was
It's
what
like
was
a-
the order?
It's the P.F. Chang's of the Italian world.
That's perfect.
So
way
it's
to put
the
it.
perfect restaurant,
Absolutely
but
perfect way
Italian.
to put it, yeah.
You're me, junior year of high school, with your first girlfriend, and you're going to North Park Mall, going to nice part of Dallas, and you're going to Maggiano's.
Mhm.
When did PF Chang's go from being high-end dining to being looked at as like a chain that no one actually goes to anymore? Because growing up,
Right after
when I heard
college.
that we were going to PF Chang's, it was like, we are balling
You and
tonight.
me both, man.
Mhm. Same thing with Maggiano's. And then all of a sudden, like somewhere around the senior year of college, like transition, it becomes like, oh, it's sort of like it's like the
It's a
live laugh.
punchline now.
Yeah, it's the live laugh love of chain restaurants.
Yeah, I mean,
Elevated chains.
The food is good.
yes, PF
It's
Chang's
very
goes
good.
hard.
I
You
agree.
shouldn't feel
I
ashamed.
enjoyed my
You're a big lettuce
Maggiano's
wrap
meal.
guy, right? You like the sauce.
No, I learned that in college. I can't eat the lettuce wraps, and definitely don't order them on a date.
Dude, I
because
think it's
you're gonna
mental.
Disappear for 8 minutes.
It's all mental.
Like immediately too. I've never had anything hit me that quickly.
Well, I got the fettuccine alfredo. Very good.
Ooh,
Oh, nice light meal.
Nice, real
a man of culture.
Yeah. Then Sunday I did like a 4-mile walk in. Felt great, and Ended actually Saturday and Sunday watching National Treasure 1 and 2. So pretty
Not bad.
good weekend.
Are you going to dip
all
into the
around.
series at all of National
No,
Treasure?
it doesn't have.
Sally says that there's good reviews.
It does it.
I don't know.
It doesn't have Nick Cage in it.
Facts.
But
There's Nick Adams in it instead.
But they said
He's actually defending the Constitution from being stolen.
so Natty Treasure 3 is supposed to come out at some point in the next couple of years if it ever gets off the development room floor. And they built into National Treasure 2, which I didn't realize. They built in a plot point that allows it to continue. The president's book, page 47, that he takes a picture of, but they never actually acknowledge what it is he's taking a picture of. That's National Treasure 3.
See, that's the beauty of the National Treasure
So
universe
good.
is that they deal with weird things that happen in history, which I put in quotes. So like there's never ending twists because they can alter history and suddenly have an entire new plot point.
You could do whatever you want.
It's genius.
Mhm.
My wife has gotten me straight up addicted to National Treasure stuff. I love it.
Good.
I love it.
I'm all in. I'm all in. But yeah, that was my weekend.
Nick Cage is a National Treasure. You know what I mean? What that boy get into?
Did you watch Pig yet?
No.
Okay.
I was just say I added to my Carve celebrity list this weekend.
Who?
She's an actress that
Wow, super
forgot her
famous
name.
celebrity.
I forgot her name.
That is the worst tease ever.
Hey, dude. Yeah, thank you for that clarification.
You
saw an actress, a celeb, and
I'm sorry. Yes, I remember her name, and I can't.
Is it Mira Suvari?
I don't know if you do remember
Mina
her name,
Suvari?
Brett.
By the time Dave comes
Sigourney
back, I'll have
Weaver.
it.
I'm gonna name every
she
female
was young.
actress.
No. Sorry, Dave. You can go ahead. How was your weekend?
Emma
I
Watson.
saw Dave this weekend and Micah.
Dave,
Oh,
tell us
thanks.
about your
Thanks, Brett.
experience with Brett and Micah.
I'm glad you remember that. I'll start. You know what? I'll start Friday because we stayed in, and I did watch Love Island, and enjoyed it. Went to bed early. Got up Saturday morning. It was a big outdoor activities with roads day. Last week was horrible weather, and if you'll remember, his birthday was last week. So he had, he's got some new stuff that plays well outside, but not so much inside. Finally got to break him out, including his little golf cart, little battery powered golf cart, which he's sneaky good at driving. I'm very impressed. I'm still having to do curb watch for him because he will take that thing into a curb if you're not paying attention.
You're doing a rewatch at Curb.
Yes, I am.
Larry David.
He's also he got the Fisher Price T-ball set.
Yeah, didn't you almost kill him this weekend, David?
Damn.
Okay, so we had set it up in the house, and I had shown him just kind of how to just some really really low impact swings, just to show him that's what you do. Because I don't think we've ever sat down and watched baseball together. Shocker. Brought it outside.
Might have to call CPS if you make him watch those Rangers games from last season. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Shout out T-Man.
We made some moves. Shout out T-Man, indeed. Brought that thing out there, grabbed the bat, put the ball on the tee, and I'm like, "You want to do it?" And he's like, "Dad." So he's like, wants me to do it. I'm like, "All right, here we go. Let the big dog eat." So he runs to the back of the fence. It's probably 15 yards away. I'm telling you, I did not take a super rip at it. But I'll be damned if I didn't smoke one right by his head.
You had to, dude. Buzz the tower.
And it happened to be the one his mom was watching from the
Oh no.
bedroom window. And I heard her yell at me from that window, which is very impressive if you know the setup of our backyard. She was really not happy.
I can hear her saying, "Oh my God, David."
That's exactly what it was. And I was like, look, I did not expect that. I'm really sorry. Anyway, yeah, so we're working on that angle, the T-ball stuff. Saturday night, impromptu Matzo Rancho.
Oh, yeah.
Trip with the DeFreezes.
And me.
Nice.
We out here.
Alyssa and I were talking. I was like, dude, let's just go. It was 4 o'clock. We were outside with Rose. I was like, should we go to Matt's tonight? She's like, yeah. 10 minutes later, Sally texts, seeing if we wanted to do dinner. And next thing you know, we're there. And I have to say, leaving there, that is the most crowded I've ever seen it. That room.
What time did you get there? How long did you wait? And what time did you leave?
5:30?
We arrived right around, I would say, we probably arrived at 5:10.
Okay.
You left right after we got off the phone.
We waited probably 40 minutes to get a table. So we probably didn't actually get
wow.
seated till 6. And when we left just after 7, I can confirm Matt's might have been the most busy it's ever been.
Dude, the
It
last
was
couple weeks.
The
it's been fucking
post Austin
crazy.
thaw out that allowed everyone to get out. Just like the general, I mean, I think a lot of people still didn't have power, so it's like, well, let's go to a restaurant where they do.
Mhm.
It was a scene in there.
Dude, I'm carrying Rhodes out.
Danny Amendola was there.
It was Amendola, wasn't it?
Shout out to Amendola.
That's cool. Who was he?
He
Was
literally
was
took someone. He's got his photo on the wall there with a guy
Oh.
from Matt's El Rancho. And the reason I knew it was Amendola was because he brought a guy over, showed him the picture, and was like, pretty cool, right? And then walked away. And I was like, oh, that's just you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Amendola gets
confirmed
one,
hot,
we
dude.
don't?
Very hot. Yeah, I've seen him numerous times in Austin.
Yeah.
He's hot.
What's he like, 5'11"?
Amendola?
6'?
He's not
no,
tall.
He's
He's not
I
tall.
got it. I have inches on him.
You don't gross. You
Okay.
don't if you look at him, you wouldn't immediately jump to Pro Bowl
NFL.
wide receiver.
Yeah.
Speaking of, found the girl. Elizabeth Olsen.
So
Oh.
Elizabeth Olsen?
Lizzie Olsen.
That's a big get.
Olsen.
As I
Lizzie
look her
Olsen.
up.
She's I guess she's WandaVision.
Oh, yeah, she's the third Olsen sister.
Yeah.
I-
Elizabeth Olsen?
Dude,
Yeah.
that's really big.
I was like,
Especially if you're
where
like
do I-
Randy and I and you dabble in the
yeah, she's very into
cinematic
that.
universe of Marvel,
Correct.
if you're new here.
Yeah, a lot of people out there
So
have
yeah,
their
she's a car.
minds in the gutter.
Oh really?
Wait, Randy
Mind.
looks skeptical.
Why are you skeptical?
Hold
She
on.
was just
I
there.
mean, not to put him on Horny Street, but did you tell James about this? He's a big.
Oh, no.
Oh, you should probably tell him. He'd been very upset.
Yeah,
James getting a lot of
I-
FaceTime today.
I'm also a little H for Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh,
Mhm.
I
have a
didn't know
crush
that.
on her.
I've never seen. I've just was like, I know you're like somebody.
Yeah.
That's a A-lister, I would say.
Really?
Approaching for
I
sure.
mean,
Okay. My bad.
she probably could buy a Lambo. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Okay.
So she knows AI.
Saturday night, she's leveraging the right tools. That's all I'm gonna say. Saturday night, stayed in, didn't do anything. Watched Bellator. First time watching a Bellator card. Really kind of terrible. I'll talk about that on Too Much Dip. Anyway, Sunday. Oh, by the way, shout out intern Craig. Old Grand
Major shout out intern
We
Craig.
ran into him and his friends and his girlfriend.
Frattest intern we've ever had.
Just a nice guy. I was walking right out of the bathroom and I had just washed my hands, and I want to applaud Craig for not attempting the handshake because I still had borderline wet hand and it would have been really awkward. So I apologize for not introducing myself personally to everybody, but yeah, wet hands. Sunday, Micah hits us with a text. Anybody want to go do exactly one Guinness at Kelly's Irish Pub, new place we fancy.
Right. Good
And
point.
it's like, yeah, I'm in. Turns out they were not open, so we pivoted. Brett, Mike, and I went and had a bloody and a beer at Black Sheep Lodge up the road. Very cool.
We did.
As someone who had to miss that and didn't want to miss it, I do get a small, tiny amount of pleasure in that. Kelly's didn't actually happen. You guys had to move somewhere.
I think Kelly's could have escalated the situation.
I think so too. I had a dream that if I wanted to go there around 4 p.m., I could have shot a text out and you would have been like, yeah, we've been here for 3 hours and we're not moving.
So I went anyway. I did exactly one drink with Dave and Micah, and then I went to Kelly's for lunch. And I stayed there for a little bit. Popped open the Lappy at the bar.
Stop doing that, dude. I'm not gonna go. I can't have
Well,
people at Kelly's Irish Pub know
Yeah.
that I roll with a dude who's on his laptop there.
But
Like I can't do that.
I'm not going to be solo bar, no laptop guy,
Why?
because I'll just be on my phone. I feel like the laptop gives
Why don't
you.
you just talk to the
It's
boys.
Sunday.
Talk
But there
to
was,
the
I didn't have.
fellers.
I didn't have the. There was. It was admittedly a little slower at Kelly's yesterday than normal. Wednesday night it was a scene.
Who is tending the bar?
I don't know her name.
Was it Tom, Pat,
He's
Michael?
doing Irish names?
I am. Yeah.
Nope, don't know.
All right. Great. Good stuff.
Brenda actually was her name.
Okay.
She's from Ireland.
Oh, Brenda. All right. Yeah, and that's Sunday. Yeah. Just a nice, relaxing day. We did some yard work. We lost bad news. We lost a couple of agave in the freeze. That's fine.
Oh,
We found we got some babies that were like under our other ones that are thriving, and we replanted them. We're just seeing if we can salvage.
so you're okay.
Yeah.
Any air conditioner problems? this year?
No. The one tree that we really had because we ripped out the big dead one in the front yard when we got the house.
Mhm.
It broke last year during last year's ice storm and happened to land on my AC unit.
Right. That
We were
needed to
without
be
HVAC for a few
completely
days.
replaced, yeah.
Not great, but we were.
Sorry to hear that, David.
Yeah. All in all, great weekend.
It's your boy.
Hi.
Friday night, went to Kanji. It's a restaurant on the east side of Austin.
Oh yeah.
New York Times has dubbed it one of the best 50 restaurants in America. While I'm not positive it's one of the best 50 restaurants in America, it's a very, very good restaurant. And I mashed that jerk chicken button. I learned that if a drink is called rocket fuel,
Oh boy.
you gotta be careful.
Trust
you gotta
it?
be careful
Yeah.
drinking that.
First thing you said to me at Matt's was,
I
I drank rocket fuel. I'm hungover.
I had exactly 3 drinks. Count them. 1, 2, 3. I felt awful on Saturday. Not good.
Ooh.
Luckily, I got to cure that with Dave at Matt's El Rancho. Did that shrimp fajita button because I'm on that pescatarian grind.
Oof.
I did not get to watch any footy on Saturday because we didn't have internet, and I didn't want to sit there on my phone when my son played, and so it was just tough out there. But we finally got internet back late Saturday, so we're just absolutely feasting right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Sunday I actually I spent 2 hours of my Sunday in my bedroom with Randy Trimbacki. Randy, Randy came over to my place yesterday to do a little filming for me for some SpawnCon coming to an Instagram feed near you. Randy, any knee-jerk takes on the DeFreeze household, my domicile?
Very, very nice place. You keep it quite pristine.
Well, we were doing that for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I didn't notice until after you left that You've Got Mail was actually playing on the main television for the entirety of the time that you were there, but you didn't see it because you were in the bedroom the entire
Classic
time.
DeFreeze ambiance.
Because I was working hard in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, don't say it like that.
Yeah.
Just filming some stuff in the bedroom.
It
working
was the
hard.
first time that Randy's filmed stuff in my bedroom, but
How'd it
hopefully
go?
it's not the last.
This
How'd it
time he
go?
kept the
Hopefully it's
robe
not the
on.
last.
We get some good.
Is there a little
SpawnCon.
chair in the
We
corner?
did, yeah. Yeah.
There was.
There actually is a chair in the
yeah.
corner. Usually there's clothes like draped all over it. Everyone's got a chair in the corner with clothes
Yeah.
all over it in their room, right?
Yeah, it's
It's the
It's a
Peloton
sore
for
spot.
some people.
Yeah.
It's the chair for other people. Does Fritz? Is he like, yo, where's Home Alone? Like we watched it every day over the Christmas season. Now it's like kind of cut out of life.
We sneak in some Home Alone for
Okay.
Fritz, man, still.
Because he's like, yo,
Yeah.
I need that.
You know he likes his Home Alone.
Yep.
So we still allow him to do that. But yeah, overall, good weekend. Really sorry to a lot of EPL supporters out there from teams like Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea. A lot of those teams had trouble getting points this weekend, and Manchester City might not even be in the Premier League next year. So who knows?
Yeah, how do you do that? Is it like the death penalty of soccer? You just like take their name off the schedule? Like what? How does that?
I don't
work?
know the logistics of it, Brett, but I really hope we get to find out.
What
I
are
really
the
do.
chances the Saudis don't care about financial indiscretions and just sign up for like their Super League, like the live of soccer, with
just-
Man City being the
After how
headliner?
bad the other Super League went down, I just don't see it happening again. I've watched
didn't
an
know there
Apple
was another
TV
Super
Apple
League.
TV Plus documentary on it. It's very boring, in
Mm.
my opinion.
Okay.
Super League famously fell through the same day that Fritz was born.
I forgot about Super
Best day of
League.
my life.
I thought that was going to be like a
Oh,
really
yeah,
fun time.
that was recent.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sally was
God.
like, "Are you more happy that I'm in labor right now, or that the Super League is falling through?" And I was like, "Don't put me on the spot."
Wow. Super League existed
Yeah. Yeah.
for a literal. Like
Oh, yeah.
one
Like 4
second.
days.
Yeah.
4 days.
Holy shit.
So yeah, good weekend. Good weekend. But hey, guys, we got a special guest in the studio. And by in the studio, I mean phoning into the studio.
Nice. Who's that?
You guys ever hear this DJ Bean guy?
Mm.
He's going to talk to us about the Grammys, but before we do, I want to give a special shout out to a new sponsor alert.
New sponsor.
New sponsor alert.
I'm excited about this.
It's my
one.
best Dylan.
This podcast is sponsored by Groove Life. A lot of dudes out there, they got crappy looking wallets. You're out there, you see a guy at the bar, he pulls out a crappy looking wallet, and you're like, oh, that's small baller stuff. That my man's not grooving yet. It's 2023. If you're still using the same wallet from 2003, guess what? It's time to update your wallet game. The Groove Wallet is a sleek, low-profile wallet engineered for everyday use. One simple thumb motion perfectly fans out up to 6 cards for easy access to find everything you need. And guess what? It's durable. It's got a high-quality aluminum outer shell. This wallet's unlike any other wallet out there. Whatever happens to your Groove Life gear, they're here to help as well. With Groove Life's 94-year no BS warranty, your Groove Wallet is the last wallet you'll ever need. 94 years.
I think
If I was a 94-year-old wallet, I'd say, oh,
that probably
What's your
covers.
secret wallet?
I've had so much money going through me.
Is that your secret to success and
Yeah.
longevity?
My secret to success is that I don't drop any American Express cards. They're really heavy.
Famously, more than plastic ones, because they're metal sometimes.
That's something we do here, Brett.
Mhm.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna have to get used to it.
Whether you're a guy who's been using that same wallet for years and you need to upgrade, let's just say there's a guy in your life who needs a new wallet. Go make that happen through Groove Life. Don't think for a second that these guys just make wallets either. They've got belts, rings, watch bands, AirPod cases, and much more. Just go make it happen. Go check out their site and go check out everything they have to offer. It's time to bring your wallet into the 21st century. Head to groovelife.com/Steam and use promo code STEAM for 20% off all Groove Life products. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code STEAM for 20% off your order. One last time, that's promo code STEAM for 20% off your order. And now, without further ado, let's talk to DJ Bean about last night's Grammys, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, the Grammys were last night, which means we have to have our resident music expert on the podcast with us. Of course, we're talking about Brunch's own DJ Bean. DJ, how do you feel about Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album going to Michael Bublé's Higher last night?
Oh no.
Now, who was it? Oh, it was Dylan that was a Bublé guy that chunked his whole dang song draft, right? Was he
Christmas
he
song
beefed it?
draft, famously, yeah.
Yeah, he brought in a Christmas beef for that one and just totally undid a lot of great things he'd done in previous rounds. The sad thing is, like 8 years ago, I actually would have had an answer to that. I would have been going through all of the categories and been like, well, clearly, when you consider Bublé's previous output, this was a makeup call. The go-to, the secret weapon to talking about the Grammys, by the way, is call every win for somebody a makeup call, and then say the last thing they put out was better, but the Grammys missed it, because that's what the Grammys does.
I have to get your take on best metal performance. I know this is a category you're an expert in. You're a big metal guy. And speaking of that, what you just referred to, we've got Ozzy winning for Degradation Rules. Are we sure that was better than Turnstile Blackout? I'm not sure.
Okay, so everybody was very Turnstile was like one of the exciting conversations this year, because people typically don't see cool newish bands that they like get nominated for stuff, but they were never going to win. Like Ozzy won for best metal. Ozzy won best rock album this year. And the Grammys have this move of ultimately they lean on who have we heard of before. And I think that in the Foo Fighters documentary, Dave Grohl said that, where he's like, yo, like there's a reason we play at every Grammys, because they're always like, oh shoot, we need a rock band. Are the Foo Fighters still putting stuff out? Okay, let's get the Foo Fighters or the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they're the rock band. So there were some really good rock albums put out this past year. Spoon, I thought, had the best album overall of the year, Lucifer on the Sofa. And I knew they weren't going to win because the Grammys are stupid, but when Ozzy wins over them, it's just clearly, okay, like we know who Ozzy is and we don't know who these other guys are.
How offended were you by some of the performances last night?
I thought that a lot of them, in particular, the hip hop 50th anniversary tribute wasn't satanic at all, and that really bugged me. I thought that Steve Lacy was being really, really woke by not having any devil imagery. And I thought that he was a cuck for that one. And who else? Stevie Wonder. Like, come on. I didn't see, there was no fire.
TNT.
There were no, it was just a bunch of musicians up there singing.
Yeah.
That is, I'm sorry, that's soft, man.
I thought we were going to get a sacrifice from Stapleton, but no, he was actually just playing guitar and singing.
Wait, Stapleton didn't have any blood go down his beard last night?
No, it was a big miss. IMO.
God, these might as well be our grandmas at Grammys.
So
Yeah,
Creed didn't play my
I thought
sacrifice.
that Stapleton was
No.
woke for that one.
DJ, you had a viral tweet last night. I would like to be the first to congratulate you on the virality of your tweet. Do you have anything to say to the artists that you might have slighted who actually won the award?
Ooh, good question. So now this was a Song of the Year one, so Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah, please apologize to Bonnie.
I apologize to Bonnie profusely. I'm happy for Bonnie. That was a fun little curveball that Bonnie Raitt won. In the group text, I had said that I was in trouble. I was in danger of dying if Taylor Swift had won Song of the Year for the 10-minute All Too Well. Song of the Year, famously, is a songwriting award. People ask, what's the difference between Record of the Year and Song of the Year? Record of the Year is the overall production, the whole package. Song of the Year is a songwriting award. You could say what you want about Taylor Swift, and many people say a lot of things correct and incorrect about Taylor Swift. All Too Well, the normal version, is not a well-written song. The 10-minute version of All Too Well is legitimately a horribly written song. It's the 1-5-6-4 chord progression, which is the most common chord progression.
Right.
I've been
right.
saying that.
Looped.
I've been saying that.
Looped for 10 minutes. That is terrible songwriting.
Terrible.
If that had won a songwriting award, I don't know how, but I'll tell you what, I would have been dead right now.
Well, she was also famously nominated with Liz Rose, her co-writer on the song. So you're also putting our friend Liz on Front Street as well.
Is that like a pseudonym for some like random friend of Taylor Swift or
Based
like,
on the Grammys
No.
website, I cannot confirm or deny whether or not this is a stock photo and whether or not Liz Rose is just a fake person.
Got it.
Liz Rose was indeed a co-writer of Taylor Swift's up until, I believe, was Red the final album on which she co-wrote? And then
No, that was the dad on that 70s show. And now that 90s show, he's the grandfather.
okay, and then Taylor with
he dead?
1989.
No, he's not dead. He's alive.
Man, why'd you
Red
RIP him?
Foreman? I thought is Red Foreman not dead?
Well, you're the breaking news guy.
Yo, is he dead? Is it because Taylor Swift
He's in that 90s show.
He's famously on that 90s show right now.
That's currently airing.
He's very much alive.
You
I
better hope he
apologize.
doesn't die today. If he dies today, it's on
I
you.
hope he doesn't die.
Breaking news: Red Foreman alive and well.
The haters are furious.
Who's dead? Did what's her name?
You
What's-
ask who's dead?
Who's the wife? I think she's dead.
No, she's very much alive.
She's
as
also
well.
on the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
you should watch the
Dead
trailer
sounds
for
like
that
an old,
90s show on
brunch
Netflix.
segment. We used to. This is bad, but we all grow up and everything. Old episodes, if like a celebrity died, we would talk about. We'd be like, "Oh, you hear so and so died," and then for the next like 20 minutes, we would just rephrase every which way that person died, and we wouldn't really further the conversation. We'd be like, "Man, they're really dead." No good.
That's a good bit. Bring it back.
We should see how that plays.
Hey.
in,
The reason we wanted to have you on, we've talked Song of the Year. Well, what's going to be the song of the summer?
oh.
I mean, I didn't want to prep you, but you're good on your toes, my man.
Okay. Now, this one won a Grammy last night, so maybe it shouldn't be the song of the upcoming summer. But tell you what, I'm still feeling. I was singing this song before we even hit record. I'm just into that Sam Smith, Kim Petras, Unholy. That is a
me too.
2-chord banger. Because mommy don't know that daddy's getting hot at the body shop. And
Yeah,
that's always
adultery.
yeah, you two are parents.
Right.
Famously.
Brett, you as well, for all we know. High five.
Who knows?
That's got. I'm sure that's a dynamic when in parenting. That's maybe daddy's getting hot and mommy don't know about it. I feel like you two could speak to it more than I could.
You go ahead, Will.
Daddy get hot sometimes, but mommy normally knows about it in my experience.
Transparency is key in relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, so like even at the body shop.
When I go to the body shop, I actually mostly dress in Carhartt.
Now, when I go to the candy shop, that's a different story.
But usually Scotty
Oh.
doesn't know, right?
Yeah, you took it a different direction.
I just want to make sure I'm
Interesting.
covering all the bases here.
That's got to be the number one most like TikTok covered song, right? Unholy. I've seen it everywhere.
That's a big one, but I know that the artist formerly known as Kanye has been let's say temporarily sunset, perhaps. But the like chipmunk samples are very big. Where like they'll take I see like Help by the Beatles sped up. Do you see that?
I have seen
They'll
that.
do that. They'll do ABBA does the Angel Eyes, the keep thinking about his angel eyes. They'll speed that up and they'll do like the Kanye West thing. I'm sorry, he goes by Ye now. For anyone who talks to him.
Yeah, please apologize to Kanye for calling him something that he doesn't want to be called.
He doesn't have access to this platform currently.
Whoa.
He's banned from Apple Podcasts?
He's banned from our podcast.
Wow.
Chris Stapleton over here. Super woke. But
Stapes.
I see that a lot. And then there's also, I saw a song that was happening. It was called If We Ever Break Up. It was really catchy. You know that one? If we ever break up, I'll call you dad. So I looked up, what is this song?
Dude.
Who is this song?
Dude,
And
I
it's a
heard
song
that. It's
that's,
one of my
just
favorites.
for TikTok.
I was just telling the guys a few weeks ago that song is going to be like a hot song on
Mhm,
TikTok.
mhm,
That's
mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, maybe even the song of the summer.
Maybe. I've got
Good.
Bad Bunny Un Verano Sin T. That's going to be
Interesting.
my
I'll tell you
song
what,
this summer. I like
Winners and
everything Bad
losers of
Bunny
the
does.
Grammys, winners and losers of the Grammys, Bad Bunny just seems like a nice guy.
He does, and as much as I hated to see Trap Cake Volume 2 from Raw Alejandro lose,
Mhm.
I love seeing Bad Bunny get up there and mix it up.
Yeah, he truly does. And there was a picture of he and Will's pal Taylor Swift, and Bad Bunny just seems like, I don't know. Yeah, like he's never doing too much, which as a celebrity, especially at those things, it can seem like you're forcing it, like maybe the other person in that picture was. But Bad Bunny just seems like that dude.
Did you say that there was a chunk warning in effect last night? Are you saying T Swift chunked it?
Yo, I have questions about, do they make Taylor Swift stand up the entire award show? Because I get it, if like a song is playing and she wants to dance along, that's like a staple of award shows. It's not like that. They cut to Taylor Swift. She's dancing. She's having a good time. She's singing the words. But then sometimes they would cut to her when an award was won. Somebody's up there giving a speech. Nobody else is standing up. And she's just standing up. And the person behind her is like, ma'am, you're tall. And then I saw when Steve Lacy was playing, she was standing up. And she clearly had never heard Bad Habit before. This was clearly the first time she'd ever heard this song. Didn't know the words, didn't know anything. And we're just kind of like awkwardly bobbing around. And it's like, yo, you're allowed to just sit down. In fact, most people are seated during this.
DJ, I'm going through some other winners from last night. We have, Beyonce. We have Brandi Carlile. We have several girl bosses. Do you want to rain on their wins at all? Additionally, in addition to Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Famously, I don't like any bands made up of three women, for sure. Definitely not a girl bosses person. No. So I'm a big Beyonce person, and finally, I see that this year people are kind of writing about and putting stuff out there that is the drum I've been beating for years, which is, don't take the bait when the Grammys tell you, hey, look how many awards we give Beyonce. Oh, now she's the world record holder for Grammys, blah, blah, blah. The Grammys always screws over Beyonce. They never give her any of the big three awards, which is Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Album of the Year. The only time they've given her one of those awards is 2010 Single Ladies got Song of the Year. And every other award they've given Beyonce has been a either genre award, which is like best R&B album, or like best R&B pop vocal, or like shit like that, which good for anybody who wins those Grammys, but those aren't the big three. And the Grammys never gives Beyonce her due there. Now, this year, I don't think they really screwed her over because I don't think Renaissance was unbelievable. I think that all the albums nominated for Album of the Year this year were like good to pretty good, very good-ish. I don't think it's an outrage that Harry Styles won for that album, but don't listen to the Grammys when they tell you that they give Beyonce her flowers, because they really don't.
Are there theories as to why?
I really don't know. I mean, I think that a lot of it is outside of Lemonade, Beyonce, and again, I say this as a Beyonce fan, Beyonce doesn't have a lot of amazing albums. Lemonade, I think, is one of the best albums of the last 20 years. And then a lot of her other stuff is they're kind of like Foo Fighters albums where they have
That's
maybe
tough.
1 to 4 amazing songs, and then the rest of it is okay to good, but the top to bottom elite albums are few and far between. Although shout out Foo Fighters Wasting Light. They had a late career great album with that.
Overall, though, your highlight of the night, what was it, and why was it the round table of fans explaining why they want their favorite artist to win?
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. It would have been terrible if we forgot to discuss this. That was the worst thing the Grammys have ever done, and they gave Folklore Album of the Year.
Stop.
One time.
Great album.
They-
Perfect quarantine album, people are saying.
That was so bad, and I don't know what they thought they were going for, especially with the different backstories of each of the fans. For those of you who didn't see, they did a round table for Album of the Year and had a representative from each artist explaining why my artist better win Album of the Year. I think they deserve to win it. And some people had interesting backstories, which just made them interesting, didn't make the album interesting. Like somebody was, let me think. The ABBA fan was like, ABBA hadn't put out an album in 40 years. And you're like, yeah, cool, who cares? And he's like, my house burned down. And you're like, "All right, I don't see what these have to do with each other, but now I'm into this person." I actually do feel bad. I'd called that person a nerd before they said that their house burned down. So shout out that person.
You regret
But-
the error.
Then they cut
First
to,
I'm hearing of this.
like Adele's fan is like, Adele is so good. One time I posted a video and she DM'd me. You're like, so she should win Album of the Year? And then the Coldplay person was like, yo, I come from a big family. I don't have a lot of friends, but I do listen to Coldplay.
Dude, hers was preposterous. The whole thing was like, yeah, I saw Coldplay play one time. My friend was like, you should go. And I was like, no, I just broke up with my boyfriend. And then I went. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks for coming on. I'm sold.
The story is I went to a Coldplay concert one time. So they
So did
should
I.
win Album of the Year.
One of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. Coldplay at TD Garden.
Very
I
cool.
bet that was a blast.
It
I've never seen Coldplay, but I bet they have all the lights going. Like,
It
I'm
was
not the
the-
biggest U2 fan, but I went to see U2 because they're going to put on a crazy show.
Yeah. It was
So I
the
feel like
first
that's
time
what
I've ever
Coldplay
been to a
is.
concert that had the wrist lights that light up to the beat of the
I've
music.
never done that.
And they
Ooh.
did when they played like Paradise and Viva La Vida. It was cool.
Yeah, I get it.
It
I
was
get
cool.
it.
So
DJ,
it-
do you have any concerts in the hopper that you got in the pipeline in your crosshairs?
Good question.
You went on a bit of a tear last year. People were
Yeah,
saying it
but
was
I mean-
like the Sammy Sosa McGuire '98 with you and Pete in concerts.
Yeah, I mean, I've slowed way, way, way down with concerts. One of the ways in which I feel like everybody got aged in surprising ways during quarantine, and mine was that I went from being a person who stands on the floor at shows, will be like middle of the crowd, maybe even move up a little bit, to after when I like the first concert I went back to, I was like, oh shit, I'm one of the old guys at concerts now. So I hang in the back, or if there's a good mezzanine situation, I'll do that. So
Love a good mezzanine.
yeah, that's kind of slowed down the rate at which I've attended concerts. But coming up, friends of the podcast Houndmouth are coming to Portland, Maine in a couple of months. So is Father John Misty. Big fan of that guy. I'd have to check. Oh, Dead and Co. I know that Will be attending. Will, are you doing San Fran?
I am. I need to get rid of my Dallas tickets. So if anyone needs Dallas tickets, hit your boy up.
What do you think of
Yeah.
Will's move, DJ, of flying in for one night and one night only and flying back after the concert in the morning?
I have done that before. So I don't know if I should defend it just because I've done it, but I've always enjoyed it. So,
Okay.
I mean, I thought about doing this for your, let's see, where was I? I was someplace else. I must have been in LA, but because I don't go anywhere. But I thought about doing that for your company party.
Oh,
Flying
yes.
in, surprising Dylan. I suppose it would have been a surprise for the rest of you guys.
No,
as
but
well.
Dylan's the one who would have really. He might have broken down crying.
Yeah. We'll do
Yeah.
this at some point.
First time I see Dylan in person, he's going to cry.
Well, because
I love that.
Because Dylan is not here, do you want to use your parting words to give a message to Dylan, who skipped today's episode when he heard that you were coming on?
Is it because he just didn't know what he'd even be able to do with himself?
He didn't watch the Grammys start to finish like all of us did.
Start to finish. I didn't miss
Wow.
a second.
Didn't
of it.
miss a beat.
I mean, really, as long as you watch the Kim Petras and Sam Smith tribute to Satan, then that was the only real part of the Grammys. Everybody else was just being a cuck.
Yeah, up until that
Big
point, I
facts.
was just like, dude, there's a glaring lack of Dark Prince worship.
Right. Satanic worship.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like
Bonnie Raitt got up there and she had red hair, and I was like, all right, finally. And then she was like, oh, I'm so surprised. Oh, thank you so much. I love music. And I was like, ugh.
Vom, heard it before.
Soy boy.
What's next for DJ Bean in 2023?
Oh, man. Boy, is that a good... I haven't known what to make my Twitter bio, because famously I'm between jobs right now. And when I began the between jobs thing, I was like, nice. I'm going to just dink around, make stuff that I want to make. And then when I get back to work, then that'll be that. And now I'm perilously bored and maybe wishing that I'd put a little more elbow grease into having the next job lined up. So your guess is as good as mine. There are some things I want to do, and we'll see if I end up doing them. But I'll say that like the best is yet to come.
Wow. Well, DJ,
That's
I just
a
want
bar.
to commend your hair real quick under the hat. Looks absolutely phenomenal. So
Look-
from one flow
Yeah,
guy to another.
looking good.
You look good, man.
My goodness.
This was
Yo,
just Brett's way of being able to talk about his own hair.
yes.
It's true.
Brett, your hair has surpassed mine. I hope you understand that.
No. You have the,
My hair's
the
on the way down.
juxtaposition.
My hair is on the way down. Yours is on the way up. And
Damn.
there's no one I'd rather have the best hair at Washed Media than Brett.
DJ just gave my hair best new artist.
He just compared his hair to Ryan Cabrera's.
Waited
Yeah.
all my life to cross
On the
this
way
line.
down.
I'm just gonna sit this entire one out.
I saw you save me from my... Wow.
Wow.
Can I say I'm still rattled from Will saying, "Are there any other women whose music you want to discredit?" But that's the thing, like, so I'll get in trouble for this. Like, Taylor Swift doesn't make music with girls.
Ooh,
okay.
She keeps
Ooh.
using retread white guys, and that bums me out so much.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
not saying that because I'm not saying that Taylor Swift has to make music with other women, but there's so many people that she could put on, and I wish that she would.
She suppressed that Lana Del Rey feature on Midnight's 3 a.m. edition.
Yeah, that wasn't that good.
Taylor Swift is from Pennsylvania, isn't she? Like, why does she get...
Oh, yo, my favorite meme was when she did the "Look What You Made Me Do" music video. There was a still of her when like her and all the white girls were doing like the formation type thing, that shot, and it said, "My mommy Pennsylvania, my daddy Pennsylvania. You take that pencil with the vania. I'm from Pennsylvania." Amazing.
Well, DJ, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful as always. Where can the people go follow and listen to you?
You can listen to me on the Brunch podcast, although I'll tell you what, my favorite podcast is legitimately Circling Back. So you can check that out. Pete and I listen all the time. We'll see what you boys are up to. So my plug is to listening to Circling Back, and please join the one of the Patreons. So you could do the Circling Back Patreon, which ultimately I think is the best thing to do. But also you could check out the Brunch Patreon, patreon.com/listen to brunch, where you get bonus episodes. And right now we're doing weekly bonus episodes that, among other things, include recaps of the show Your Honor on Showtime. And I know that it's not the best business model to pigeonhole yourself into the bonus episodes or just about this one show that people may or may not watch. But Your Honor is the most outrageous show in the world, and Pete and I love talking about it. So the best business model is keeping Pete and Deej happy. We love it. We love the patrons. We also sometimes, if people don't retweet one of our tweets, we'll post those tweets on the Patreon to make sure the proper eyes get on it, because some of our tweets are really good.
Why aren't we doing that?
Yeah, it's true.
I like that.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, Deej.
Thank you, man.
We love you.
Appreciate it.
See you,
Love
DJ.
you, boys.
Always good to hear from DJ. I was craving brunch yesterday.
Man.
Both the podcast and the
Oh,
meal.
yeah? I did a croissant yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like a normal croissant?
A croissant.
Mm.
What's your favorite pastry, Dave?
In croissant.
Like breakfast pastry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a donut a pastry?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah, I would
I
consider
don't really
it
know,
one,
but
yeah.
like, yeah, I think so.
I'm notably not a big sweets for breakfast feller. However, I do like the occasional loaded donut. I do like the ongoing bit that Big Cat, your former coworker, has, where he
Sure.
posts like he'll
Yeah.
post like a big box of donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one he posted that had what looked to be Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And I
that's a
was like,
staple.
That I felt like that is a game changer.
I've
for
never
me.
thought about putting Fruity Pebbles on a donut.
No.
But I've seen that before, and it just sounds amazing.
I need to try that.
Really?
I'm a scone guy.
I was always a Trix over Fruity Pebbles guy.
No, that's a
They're
bad
just
take.
big time.
That's a rough
Trix
take.
is so much better than Fruity Pebbles because you get more flavor.
I dabbled in both, but what you just said is so incorrect that I'm thinking about just leaving the show right
Yeah,
now.
it's a bad take.
What are you talking? Fruity Pebbles get all soggy and just
The milk, dude, the milk afterward, that
you're
fruity
saying
milk,
the milk doesn't get affected by the Trix?
not to the same level.
Dude, tricks are for
disagree.
kids, bro.
What are
Grow
fruity,
up,
what
dog.
Are Fruity Pebbles for?
Grow up.
For people
Is
who are
Fritz-
serious about their bodies.
Is Fritz into like super sugary cereals yet? Or
No,
Roats,
dude,
for
he's
that
too
matter?
young for that shit, dude.
I don't know with kids. I think
No,
I
he
feel
gets
like
2 eggs every morning. It's more than I can eat.
Damn,
Eats egg, good for him.
Yeah. Oh, dude, cheesy
Not
eggs?
naming
Are you
names.
kidding me?
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expensive, but awesome.
Dave, can you explain
Okay.
what's going on with
Yes.
just everything about our next segment?
So the main character on Reddit at the end of last week came from the "Am I the A-hole" forum. There's a
This is
subreddit "Am I the asshole?"
Yeah, that subreddit also famously inspired me asking if I was the asshole for towing that person. So I have a personal vendetta with that
Okay.
that subreddit now.
So a guy, I don't know his username. I don't want people to like dox him. I'm sure it's already happened. He posted something, and here's what the deal is. He said, "Since my wife and I have been together, I have worked as a manager for a restaurant chain." Okay, that's fine. I don't think there's any shame in that.
No,
There's
I'm not
shame in
gonna-
it if you do what he does, but overall, there's no shame in this.
Like, yeah, I'm never gonna judge you by how you make your money, how you take care of your
Dude, you
family.
make good money managing fast food
For sure.
restaurants.
I've got a
Absolutely.
McDonald's pays fucking well.
I got a neighbor who manages a Thundercloud. He says, "I'm an
They got
extreme."
good bennies there.
They do.
401k match.
I know. Whenever I see the sign on the wall, I'm like, fuck.
$20-something an hour.
He said, "I am an extremely
Can't believe they
passionate
paid
aviation enthusiast in my free time." Brett, does that pique your interest?
Yeah, as a noted interested in aviation guy, it does.
He said, "I've spent thousands of dollars on flight textbooks, sim gear, and even built my own A330 setup. I've never actually flown a plane or started flight training, but I have considered it for a long time. Even though my skills are not a career, I still consider myself as adept or possibly more knowledgeable than the average pilot." All right. Just I'm
Interesting.
wondering where
Okay.
he's going with this.
Interesting.
Then he says, "My wife and I were invited to one of her male coworkers' homes for a barbecue. My wife is a senior software tech for a COVID startup." I don't know why he got so specific. "We make our way down the line to the host of the party, a new male hire that she has grown platonically close with. All right. We exchange casual conversation, and the host, Greg, asked what I do for a living. My wife chimes in and says he manages a blank, insert fast food chain. It certainly comes with some benefits. I'm assuming she's referring to free food in a voice that implied nothing was wrong with what she said. The reason I paused up there, I thought maybe Brett would chime in with a "haven't you people ever heard of closing a G-damn door?"
I was
But
going
you
to
didn't have to.
I like where your head's at, but I was going to leave it.
Cool. I just want to explain myself.
Okay.
He says, "I very quickly corrected her and told him that I am a pilot." My wife already knows how insecure I am about my job and how I'd rather be introduced by my hobby. I've earned the title of pilot through my 500 plus hours on and sim and thousands of dollars put into my craft. I think it is incredibly disrespectful for her to not acknowledge my skills and training. Just because I don't have a title of pilot on an overpriced piece of paper doesn't mean I'm not a pilot. I think it kind of does.
Yeah, it doesn't
kinda
mean you're a pilot. It's like saying I'm a doctor.
No,
performing
see, I'll
operation.
I'm going to roll with this guy and say that the piece of paper, not having his name on a piece of paper, you know what? That doesn't make him, like, I don't think that's the differentiator here. But what doesn't make him a pilot is that he's never flown a fucking plane.
Yeah, you gotta get,
So,
get in the air. You gotta
like,
get in the air.
I can hear the case that he knows how to do it all. And hey, I've even flown planes on my own. I've done some solo flights. If he actually had that, then I might hear it. But to say like that, no, you're buddy.
Gotta get in the air.
Buddy.
Gotta get in the air.
He continues. I laughed it off with Greg. That's probably how it
This
sounded.
is the most disrespectful part.
Told him under my breath that my wife was often forgetful, which I'm sure he's realized just from working with her. All right,
Okay.
dude.
Like, dude, you
Calm
don't need to
down.
be shooting strays at your wife right now.
There's like 4 of them in this one. The wife is just getting clipped.
He seemed to brush it off casually. At this point, I'm fuming, but I don't go much further than exchanging some nasty glances with my wife for the rest of the night. As we pack into the car to leave, the argument starts. She feels as if I don't deserve my title as pilot because I'm not professional. I told her she is completely insensitive to the work I've done, and she will never understand what it's like to study so much. Didn't need to say that last part. Just gonna let
Zing.
you know now.
Yeah, she
Not
is.
gonna end
What
well.
is she? A software developer?
A
She probably has.
senior
She has no
software.
clue what it feels like to study.
No, you know, sounds like the Whew. She's currently on the couch as I type this. Am I really the asshole for asking to be respected?
She definitely paid for that couch.
100%.
Dave, I know your hobby is you play a lot of golf, and you've spent thousands of dollars on your equipment, on courses, on shoes, on just everything. I mean, I think you're a paying member of the Nest, no laying ups, kind of subscription thing.
I've got the certificate to show that.
Are you going to have Alyssa start introducing you as a professional golfer?
Actually, yes. After reading this, I am, because if what he described is the standard, if that's where the bar is, then I've got a lot of things I could be. Like,
I was just thinking the same thing.
I like to punch the heavy bag at the gym.
Yeah, you like.
So I'm
You
also
like heavy. What?
You see Kendra Scott's heavy bag?
big
It's
content guy.
suede.
I'm also a boxer.
Sure.
You're a hockey player.
Was born to be a hockey player.
Yeah, Brett famously plays hockey on Tuesday mornings,
And Thursday night.
sometimes even Thursday nights,
Sometimes even Sunday mornings. if I'm feeling
sometimes
dang.
even Sunday mornings.
I think what he needs to have done, if he could go back, he could say, "Hey, next time when people ask, I mean, yeah, I don't mind you saying I manage a restaurant, but say my true passion lies in aviation." That's what you could have said. And then that's going to open up a lot of questions, like, "Oh, how many flight hours have you logged?" And you're going to have to explain that you've never actually flown a plane, and that's on you.
That's tough. That's like even if you aren't introduced by your hobby, a pilot, the follow up is going to be tough. How do you answer that question? Like, oh, what do you like? Who do you fly for?
Yeah.
And the
This
guy's
says,
like-
how
the
much
guy's
would
like,
you guys
Wingstop.
guess it costs to become a professional pilot?
That's a very expensive.
Like an average. It's to be honest, the answer that I just found compared to other professions that you have to pay to go to school for, it's not a crazy amount, but
flight school the summer that I wanted to do it was like $8,000 for the summer, basically level 1.
so this says. Now I'm questioning
I
what
mean,
I have here.
there's a lot of different avenues for pilotry.
This says like in total, all costs, everything. Like when you're done, it says that it would cost $96,000 to become a pilot when starting with no previous experience at all. But if you already have a certificate, a private pilot certificate, it'll be like $75,000 in total. Does that sound like it would be right? I have no clue.
Well, again, a lot of different ways that you can get into that in schools.
This
and
might
stuff
be
like
somebody
that.
who's
There's
trying
like-
to fly for like Delta or something like that versus someone who's
Yeah.
just trying to get a private pilot's license. Because I can't imagine it would be
and you can,
$100,000
like,
to
go
do
get a
that.
degree. Like Embry-Riddle, for example, is an aviation school, and that's like it's college. So you can do. I mean,
I am not a pilot. The closest I've become is I got to visit Miramar that one time, and that's it. I was essentially in Top Gun.
That was a pretty cool trip, though.
I essentially flew a fighter jet.
You basically shot down that Chinese spy balloon. You guys see this?
He is the first confirmed kill for an F-22.
That's aviation guy talk there.
So if you're this guy, you have to become a pilot now. Like you have
Yeah.
to actually, you have to quit your job.
Yeah, you got to double
managing
down.
a restaurant,
Mhm.
and you have to post a picture as a follow up, like who's the asshole now, with a piece of paper outside a pilot's window, or in the air, ideally. Because
Yeah,
somebody will
this
still
guy
be like,
needs to go do this. He
Has
needs
to
to
do it.
finish his stuff. He needs to get his piece of paper, and he needs to make this happen.
even if you're flying for like FedEx, who stole Dave's Groove Life wallet.
I think that would be a
That's
better.
okay.
I think that would be a better gig than flying commercial flights, right?
Oh well,
I'd rather fly boxes.
Well, I mean, less stress, I guess. But your hours usually suck
I've also
because you're flying at like, hey, how's taking off from 2 a.m. sound all the time?
I had someone tell me that they only did food delivery instead of Uber because they were like, yeah, I don't have to deal with drunk people in my backseat.
It's a great idea.
Completely understand that.
I was
Totally.
like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. He's like, I make a little less, but I also don't have to clean my car and worry about stuff. It just smells like food every once in a while.
I still can't get past that he threw in this that the guy hosting it was a new male hire that she has grown platonically close with.
This guy's got
Little
insecurity
insecurity there.
Insecurities oozing out of his pores.
Is this our man Greg?
Yeah.
But so Greg needs to go become a pilot. And ideally, Greg, if you want to really double down, become a fighter pilot.
No,
I think you
Greg is the coworker
the
of the
host.
husband.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. The husband needs to go back to school, ideally in an engineering field or mathematical, physics kind of related, then become a fighter pilot for the Navy, and then he's a badass. I think that's option B.
It's Top
Option
Gun
A is
3.
probably easier. Yeah. And that's just to become a pilot, an actual pilot, and start flying. Have to at this point.
This guy's just looking for a little bit more juice in his life. He needs a little bit more action.
He's got the juice.
What if he becomes a pilot and is like then slims down and really improves his self,
Do
esteem
we know
and
his body
stuff?
fat percentage?
No.
Oh,
Because I mean,
You want to know if he's a hot guy?
I'm just saying
Something tells me.
I need
you
a
could
hot boy.
get hotter as a pilot.
Yeah, dude. The second you get your pilot's license, you go up one single point at least.
I think pilot gives you a point, maybe a point, 1.2.
I could justify a 1.5.
I could as well.
If you hear a dude, if you see a 6 on the street and then you hear that he's a pilot after, he's immediately a 7.5. He's a pilot.
It does. It does.
I mean,
add
fighter
points.
pilot adds points, but like
Yeah.
that's
Fighter
that's-
pilot changes everything.
That's different.
Nothing's the same after that.
Yeah, this guy's just begging to steal valor right now.
Hey, give me your valor.
He probably thinks
Give
he
me
can land a jet
want
on
your
an aircraft
valor.
carrier.
I drink your valor up.
Well, shout out to this dude.
Shout out to his family.
I
You
hope
think
he
she's
managed-
gonna leave her husband for Greg?
She's going to
She
leave.
should.
If he continues with this mentality, then she is going to leave him.
All-time cloud chase by this Abby girl, by the way, who posted this interaction. She goes, "The woman dash me dash was too stunned to speak, acting like she is the wife."
Confusing.
Yeah,
I
and then
thought it was her.
She waits.
as most
she
people
waits,
did.
4 tweets before clearing this up that this is not my husband. 4 tweets after 17.5 million views, 1.2 million views, 1.1 million views, and finally the truth comes out. This is not her husband.
Yeah, I watched Dunkirk the other night. I'm actually a veteran now.
Did you really watch it?
No, I've watched it before though.
It's really good.
Yeah, I watched it. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
That was the first war movie that came up in my brain.
Technically, you're paid to like light candles. That's kind of
True.
He's
I'm
the
a candle influencer.
He's the fire starter. Twisted fire starter.
Yeah, I'm a prodigy
Rest
when
in
it comes
peace.
to candles. Dave and I just
Are
done
you
a lot
even
there.
a prodigy anymore?
Are you guys ready
I knew.
for the biggest Sunday in sports? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57, has all the Super Bowl action you need. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get in on the Super Bowl 57 excitement with DraftKings Happy Hour Super Boosts.
Super boost, super boost.
They're super boosted. Check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern to see what prop bet will be boosted, my friends. What are you guys' favorite prop bets every Super Bowl? You guys big fans of the
See,
you guys love that national anthem one, don't you?
national anthem, coin flip, and Gatorade are all popular ones. Give me. I'm more in the analytics.
Oh wow,
I'm
here we
deeper in the
go.
analytics.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Inside football.
Oh yeah. Give me like what coach wearing short sleeve or long sleeve kind
See,
of stuff.
I like the first song of the Super Bowl performance.
Who's it? Rihanna?
This year we got Rihanna.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Are we going Umbrella?
No,
No,
I think
you
it's
don't
gonna
start with
be
Umbrella.
like that.
That's an absolute banger. Rihanna's great. I know I'm a big fan of the first player to score a touchdown.
Okay.
Like I kind of like that.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's fun. Look, they're all fun.
Do you ever want to like put a little scratch on the first score is going to be a safety?
Yeah,
Get like really wild with
I might
it?
sprinkle. Yeah,
Might salt bay it.
I might Salt Bay it.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WATCH. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code WASHED. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show note for details. Tom Brady is horny.
Well, he's single and just newly retired and half billionaire basically. So I mean, he's just shooting shots.
His wife left him.
Did she leave him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She left him.
That's
for
sad.
Some
sure.
might say he left her when he chose to come back, but Randy, if
I'll
you
never
don't
let
mind,
go, Jack.
I want to see what all the hullabaloo is about here.
What, are we playing the clip?
Why
Oh,
does
we
he
were just-
why does he look like a robot? I
He
don't
looks
understand
to
this.
me in the photo. So for people that aren't watching at home, Tom Brady posted a photo where he is sitting on the side of his bed. He's got his hand covering his junk. He's wearing a pair of brown tighty whities, I would say. He looks objectively shredded and pretty good in it. And yeah, it's your classic thirst trap. If you get this from Tom Brady, are you firing back a nude?
Like me specifically?
Yeah,
Yeah. Not even close.
I agree. If you get this from Tom Brady, it's like, oh shit, I'm about to F Tom Brady.
I'm shaving all my body hair. And
What do you
sending
think of
it
the
back.
move to cover the piece? Strategic?
Well, he did put it on Twitter himself, and so I think I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if you got it, flaunt it. There's no I know you can't show nipples on Instagram if you're a young lady,
Correct.
but I
Sad.
don't know if Meta has any regulations against moose knuckles.
Bulge?
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know what his stance would be on something like this, but I am just team. If you're gonna post this kind of pic, you got to show us the stencil.
Mm-hmm.
He did put it on the gram too, which I thought it was just on Twitter. The gram
He hard
is-
posted the thirst trap.
Did he really?
I might need to see the booty though.
No, he's got his hand
No, no,
covering
no.
it, so we don't know.
He didn't hard post it on the gram, but he did IG story it.
cocky.
Have to think that's one of an all-time swipe up stories on Instagram.
Okay, so you can sort when you do this and you have people DM you.
Mhm.
You can go into your DM requests and you can
Correct.
sort it by followers. What number of followers do you think is the highest
Oh,
response to him?
I'm gonna guess 10 figures, like dozens of millions of followers. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Like somebody with like 35 million followers can be in there like, yo,
Hey Tom.
You're saying the hypothetical person who's sliding into Tom's DMs, that
Correct.
person's
Mhm.
followers. Oh,
yeah. I mean, is Tom not the most eligible bachelor right now on the planet?
No, I wouldn't say he is. He's
Purdue
got
Law.
he's got baggage. He's got
Purdue Law.
baggage.
Like kids?
Yeah.
Who's more?
He's got an ex-wife. He's got baggage. I think there's better. I think there's more eligible bachelors.
Who's more
out there.
eligible than Tom?
I might need to check for that
Tommy.
one.
It's like Harry Styles. Does he count? Is he the most? Who is like the most popular?
No,
single-
because he's got that Olivia Wilde ick right now. You don't want to deal with that. That's still messy. They went to the same gym a couple days ago.
Yeah, Purdue Law.
For some reason, this says like the.
How awkward.
That was so fuckward.
What's Harry doing in the gym?
He's trying to maintain his perfectly tiny
He
arms.
doesn't lift. I get it.
He's
better.
perfectly
He's
tiny.
probably better looking.
I think
than
he
me.
was sick last night during his performance.
That
Actually,
performance-
physically sick.
I thought it was.
Sally said she's
a
like
little
he
boring.
sounded way better at his actual concert. He sounds awful on this. I
Well,
think he had COVID.
It must be hard because the stage was spinning.
It was famously spinning. How do you guys feel about Greg Abbott's most recent tweet regarding
what did
social
he do?
media?
I haven't seen it.
It said
Is he on
announcing
Truth
today a
Social?
statewide plan to ban TikTok. Texans, especially our state agencies and employees, must be protected from having sensitive information shared with the Chinese Communist Party. We cannot ignore this security threat. Greg's got to
More
get his
like
numbers
whoa,
up.
whoa.
CPU. 'Cause this stinks, Dave.
I thought he
Stinks
had
to high
already.
heaven.
No, he'd banned it from people with like government issued phones, right?
I don't know. I would understand that. I'd be okay with that, but you can't stop me from sitting on the toilet scrolling the talk. That's just what I do.
I have not researched this, but here's the deal. I assume you are giving up some privacy when you download an app like TikTok. You are TikTok, not
Tic-tac.
TikTok. What a
These
dad.
kids and their tic-tac.
Her Tic-Tacs. That being said, I wonder what's at play here. I wonder if big Silicon Valley, big American tech, in an effort to thwart the rise of TikTok, which is happening. I think I don't know if it's eclipsed Google for like users searching stuff, but it's getting there. And I'm wondering if there's like a behind the scenes, there definitely is lobbying effort to like get stuff like this done. And I wonder how much of it's rooted in actual national security and how much of it is like, well, we just want to get rid of TikTok so Instagram and Google and things can thrive.
Yeah, I think for a company that employs like, I don't know, tens of thousands of people in the Austin region, it's kind of a weird flex for Abbott to cancel them. But I don't know, what can TikTok take and give to the Chinese that they don't already have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I guarantee there are
Where do
apps
you
out
think
there that we
you're-
have on our phones right now that are probably more destructive to our personal information than TikTok.
Like the guy who bought the $12
For sure.
NFT of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I uploaded dozens of photos of myself to this app.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Like,
going
I
to be
just
like
don't-
a
it just-
hologram you that like commits a horrible crime.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be really pissed if I get like deep faked by the
Yeah, there's going to be
Chinese.
some deep fake porn where the magic bullet's just absolutely going to town.
As long as I fucking looked awesome in it, I don't
You're
care.
getting-
As long as your stroke game's good, you don't care if
Yeah.
you get deep fake.
But,
You're
like,
getting deep faked by the deep state.
It doesn't. It just. I don't. It just doesn't matter.
You're the
We're still
next
gonna send
LHO.
spy balloons. We're
You're
still
the
gonna,
next
like,
Lee Harvey.
Taiwan's gonna blow up. It all doesn't matter, Dave. I'm a nihilist at this point.
Oh wow.
I'm going
Took
up
a
to
turn.
Alex Jones next time I see him at Carve and just be like, let's talk, man.
What would Alex Jones say back?
We got to get no. TikTok's not the real problem. If you look what the National Security Agency's already done for years.
It's really good.
You should try the burger at Carve. Their happy hour is actually pretty respectable. A lot of good wines on tap.
Do you ever feel like a little gross from the wines on tap because of the tubes?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of tubes.
My tubes.
Pretty much all I got.
That's why I think everybody should move to Rick Talk, my platform where you do dad stuff.
What if it was just every video's a Rickroll?
Never gonna give you.
You just never know when it's going to actually come in.
Rick Talk.
Yeah, it's like home improvement TikTok, but exclusively.
No, that got canceled after the Pam documentary.
Yeah, way to go, Brett.
Ooh.
You start that yet, Dave?
No,
We started it the other night.
I did finish it though.
What's up? We started the other night.
Watch the
and,
ending.
And I do plan on watching it, but we started it after 10 p.m. after 2 Matt's margaritas. So I lasted about 3 minutes before I fell asleep.
Been there. Anywho,
Oh, that's like 7 ejaculation jokes in one podcast.
why don't you chill
Those
out?
are low numbers for us.
Yeah.
Don't be perverted and call it ejaculation,
Okay,
dude.
Well, can we take Tom Brady off the screen? In his
They brought my
underwear?
filet out. It was a little overcooked. I had to send it back.
No.
I don't feel good about doing it, but
Dude,
if I'm paying that kind of money for a good steak, I'd like it cooked the way I ordered it.
I feel so bad for the bartenders at Carve. Like if I sit at the bar and just hanging out, that place has more stuff sent back than any restaurant I've ever been to by a mile, and it's alarming. How
Do you think that's
arrogant those
because
fucking people
they
are.
have particularly bitchy customers, or do you think that it's because
It's the clientele are particularly awful members of society that send back perfectly good meals and drinks too. It's like shut the fuck up.
Is it the
It's a
1%?
glass of wine. Oh, sorry. That
Well,
bugs
Nick
me.
Adams tweeted 17 hours ago, I eat my steak rare or medium rare, all caps, never medium. If there's no red, I'm sending it back to the kitchen every single time.
You know, he had a breakfast the other day. What was his breakfast? It's like a 24-ounce T-bone. He ordered a Randy, like 3 eggs. I think it was 4 eggs.
Well, he said his Alpha Male Sunday is breakfast, mass, a foursome with the boys, and beef ribs courtesy of Mario. The left hates this.
If the
It's-
left doesn't want to see you have a
it's a
foursome
busy
with the
Sunday.
boys.
When he ends a tweet with "the left hates this," that's when I know it's a banger tweet. That's his tell when it's a banger tweet. That's like when if I would give a that awkward moment screenshot to a remote writer for one of their columns, that's when you knew that I believed in that column.
Beef ribs, courtesy of Mario.
Dude, shout out to his butcher
Who's
Mario. It's his
Mario?
butcher, dude.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows that.
I didn't know if there was some like noted rib maker. I don't know.
Well, Brett's famously the opposite of that. He's actually
Right.
the rib taker outer.
Are you on a rib donor list yet?
I
You gotta
I
get
don't
that
think
thing
you
repaired.
don't want my ribs. My ribs.
No,
Are,
but like you need someone.
oh yeah. Maybe I can ask you if there's a Manson family member that can donate it.
Probably.
I think I'm conflating two things.
You are, but people get it.
Yeah. I've had my breakfast: 4 eggs with feta, potatoes, 24-ounce T-bone steak, sourdough toast, freshly squeezed OJ, 4 slices of thick cut bacon, and black my coffee.
That's I'll tell you what, that's a beta breakfast because he's using feta cheese and not American
I was
cheese.
gonna say, what the fuck, Nick? Now I'm heading into mass. Wish me luck.
Does he throw a little something in there like when he calls like playing around a golf like a foursome or
He
like
knows.
feta, like throws a little something in there that he knows people can clap back on?
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
just it's a genius play.
It is a genius play.
Yeah.
It's an engagement hack every single time.
Yeah.
Well, somebody said, "Hope you exercise. It's a lot of food," and he clapped back with, "I've got 36 holes with the boys after mass."
It's great. He's gonna burn his
That's so much golf to fit in after mass.
I don't.
How's he fitting in 36 after
can't.
mass? You
can't.
got to start earlier than that.
You can't fit 36.
Because if you
after
think
mass.
mass ends at
Yeah, what-
11, and by the time he gets to the course, it gets warmed up. If at the earliest it's noon,
There's
and then
only
he's got to
so
get
much
36
daylight.
in. Yeah, it's.
Right, and if he's
Especially in
going to a
winter.
mass, which is predominantly a Catholic situation.
Oh yeah, it could be.
buckle-
It could be
buckle up.
12:30
Shouts to my
before they get
Catholics
out.
out there. Yeah, no, you're not getting out till noon at the earliest.
Shout out to Brett's Catholics out there.
Hey, thank you for shouting us out, Brett.
Shout out to their family.
Shout out to all religions, actually.
Oh
Wow.
wow, all of them, huh?
Let me be the
Every
first.
single
Even
one.
even those that are deemed unholy.
Just did the gym thing.
Sam Smith.
Oh, he did the Satan
It's a
worship.
song about adultery.
Is it?
There is an element of that. I haven't actually listened to the song all the way through. I'm more of a dancing with a stranger type.
I'm more of a dancing in the dark guy.
Me too.
Shout out Bruce Springsteen.
I feel like that song has been like overshadowed by Courtney Cox's appearance in the video and the dancing, but that's an objectively great song.
Subjectively, a great song as
Subjectively as well, Randy.
well. Mm-hmm.
Well, that was fun.
It's been fun, guys. It's been fun. Dylan will be back tomorrow for Touching Base, a conspiracy podcast. Tomorrow afternoon, we are also taping Do You Know It? A game show podcast hosted by Randy Trimbacki himself. Should be a fun time. Never a better time to be a patron. We got a 14-day trial going over there. But if we got nothing else, I think it's time to hit the road, Jack.
A little bit of another announcement. We are dropping Too Much Dip tomorrow as we interview 247 Sports, Mike Roach, noted recruiting insider, knows everything about it. He's going to be on to talk recruiting across the board. So,
Big fan of his uncle too.
So that's a Southern Ohio.
Papa?
Yeah.
247 is a Southern Ohio area code. So are you guys mainly talking like Southern
Southern
Ohio
Ohio.
I think it's
sports,
actually-
like Ohio State stuff?
The Ohio River Valley.
I feel like I'm supposed to call it 24/7 Sports, but I don't know for sure. All I know is Mike's a good follow on Twitter if you're into college football.
Is he a savage? Ask him that. Would that be the first
I'll
question
lead
you
with
guys ask
that.
him? Hey,
I'll lead with that.
Will wants to know if you're a savage.
No context.
Let's get the hell out
Bye.
of here.